Hey, how's everybody doing? Thank you so much for joining us. If you're watching this now, you might be on the replay version of this. So hello. If you are tuning in replay, we want to hear from you. If you're tuning in live, we want to hear from you. We are, of course, talking about House of the Dragon, Season 2, Episode 7. This is going to be epic. This is the penultimate episode for Season 2 of House of the Dragon. Now, granted, we are doing this as kind of like an impromptu live. So if you're watching this in the replay, just know that it's going to take a little while for our friends to trickle in. But we do occasionally get to chat with the chatter. And otherwise, it's a fly-on-the-wall experience.
That's
so,
right.
Blake, I just sent out the text.
Okay.
I just put up the stories. So hopefully we can get some friends coming on in here. No matter what, we're going to enjoy making this podcast, which will be up in your podcast viewers pretty soon.
Well, we already have some viewers. So
we do?
we're in good shape.
Oh, there we go.
We get a lot of
Hi,
people
Tamara.
that just, like, when we go live, they're in. So we're
I
in
just
good
never
shape.
know because you know what it is? I only know when I see comments. That's how I know they're here.
Yeah, no, I can see the number,
Hi.
the total number right here. So that's that. Of course, as Mary said, this is a fly-on-the-wall experience. During the podcast, when Mary and I are recording it, it's just a way for you to see the process. And we've catered it so that while you're watching, you have a lot of good stimulating things to see and interact with, of course, with each other. Do have those conversations, though. Because this is a fly-on-the-wall experience, we may not see your comments as they come in, because there are a lot of comments, there are a lot of people that are watching, and thank you so much for doing so. We want you to have those conversations among yourselves. Please do. If you do have something that you desperately need us to see or comment on, we absolutely welcome it. Even if you've already put it in the chat, we want you to put it again during the listener feedback portion of this episode, okay? So, like I said, if you got something that you desperately need to say, in the listener feedback portion of the episode. All right, Marvin, you got anything else that you want to talk about before we get into this? We can get forward with the podcast pre-show?
Yeah, I'm pretty good.
Okay. All right, good. All right, here we go.
Awesome.
Let's make a podcast, shall we?
Yes, we shall.
10 seconds for...
Room tone, and if this is your first time tuning in live, it's this magically awkward time where I'm quiet for 10 seconds so Blake can capture all the humming and buzzing that happens in our house. So here we go.
All right, here we go.
Your royal half-brothers, Aegon and Aemond, whose blood is pure, who wage war against you for your throne. Are they bound by honor? A common shipwright vows to serve you while your brothers seek to destroy you. The order of things has changed, Your Grace. Why not embrace it?
For 20 years, the lords of this realm levied insults at my sons behind my back. Well then, let us raise an army of bastards.
Live in the Minute with Mary studio from Providence, Rhode Island, welcome to the House of the Dragon with Mary and Blake. It's a podcast dedicated to the House of the Dragon on HBO. So sit back, relax, and let's get ready to talk fire and blood. Hello, everyone, and welcome back. My name is Mary Larson.
My name is Blake, and Mary, I love me some iconic shots.
Yes, you do.
And this right here, if you're watching live in studio with us, that's one of them.
Oh
right
my
now.
goodness, what are we seeing
Out
live in the
on
studio?
the beach, we have Seasmoke and Cyrax just
Staring at each other.
face off, baby. not John Travolta and not Nick Cage, but this is a good old fashioned dragon face off.
Yes.
And of course, it went a way that I don't think any of us anticipated. but it was a great way to go. And there's a couple of incredible iconic moments in this episode, and I'm glad that the show is really setting itself up for its own success. Like it has its own language now.
Yeah.
And it's not just riding on the coattails of Game of Thrones. It's its own thing now, and I love that.
I completely agree. And I'm here for it. Obviously, Blake and I love this show. I mean, we're podcasting about it, and we podcast live. Fun fact, if you would like to join the live podcast, because it's going to be the finale conversation, that's where you want to be. You want to be live in the chatter with Facebook and YouTube. Make sure that you are on our complimentary text list. So for our friends in the U.S., you simply take out your phones and you text the phone number 401-281-5551. And if you are outside, when you text that phone number, once again, 401-281-5551. Text the word dragon, and I will add you to our list that I text for dragon friends. But if you are outside of the U.S., make sure you head to maryandblake.com and click that you would like our emails, as I will be emailing when we're going to be going live to discuss the finale. Blake and I are podcasting a whole bunch. We're going to be covering the Bridgerton finale. We are getting back into the Potterverse. And at the end of August, we actually jump back into Rings of Power.
Yes.
A lot of our friends who enjoy House of the Dragon also love hanging on out in that universe as well. So know that we do cover.
You know what I saw too?
Tell me.
Rings of Power had a new trailer premiere at San Diego Comic-Con.
Oh, then we're going to have to watch that.
We're going to have to watch it, of course.
Yes.
We haven't watched it yet, but we're going to. But I did see that it already has like 13 million views on YouTube, the trailer itself. So for any of those people out there that are saying, oh, Rings of Power sucks, no one watches it, they're wrong. I mean, 13 million views is no small feat. So, I mean, it's not like huge, but it's pretty good.
Yeah, and so we're covering that too. So if you've hung out with us all this time, we'd love to hang out with you and talk Rings of Power. And of course, at the end of November, our beloved Outlander comes back as well. So Blake and I will be staying busy. Be sure to make sure you join our Facebook group. Just search Mary and Blake. Well, you're going to be there with a whole bunch of other nerds, and we want to thank our friends at jointhenerdclan.com. If you are a member there, please know from the bottom of our hearts that you have made an incredible difference in our lives this past decade, but more importantly, this past year. We haven't really gone into it too awfully much, but just know that like you have truly, truly made a difference for us. And if we have brought joy into your life, a little Lumos in a time of Nox, as we like to say for our Harry Potter fans, please feel free to join. It's for as little as $2 a month, and it's less than a cup of coffee, and it truly keeps the lights on in our house.
Literally.
To help us cover the website fees and make all of this possible and free for people all over the world. So if you're already a member there, thank you, thank you, thank you. All right.
Mary, did you have on your bingo card today talking about the movie Face Off? 1997's John Woo classic?
No, but I do have multiple movie references in regards to this particular episode. Get the sound bites ready.
Oh,
all I can say.
yes.
That's all I can say. All right.
Any excuse to give a good sound drop.
That's right. Well,
Any excuse.
Let's get into the show.
Let's do it. Here we go.
Haven't just recently watched this episode. It's an epic one, the penultimate. Starts off, Rhaenyra meeting Addam. Addam's like, cool, I like dragons. Can I be on your team? And she's like, sure, this is great. Corlys having babies left and right, ignoring the fact that they're his babies in front of everybody else, okay? So him and Addam, they know, and he knows that they know, but nobody else knows that they know what's going on. Okay,
Corlys, he knows.
Corlys is clueless as to what's going on, but he's happy. We have Alicent going glamping. She's having a grand old time.
Is that glamping, though?
I'll go into it. Rhaenyra decides to go have her My Side of the Mountain moment. Oscar Tully grows some cajones.
Stugats.
That's
what we say here at Mary and Blake Media.
Okay, he's got some stugats.
I'm sure he's got some gabagool in the back in the back kitchen.
Whatever, blah, 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 blah. Okay, he's got him. He's got him.
Mary's doing all the Sopranos references without even knowing.
I don't even know. I'm just from Rhode Island, and we've got a lot of different things going on here.
So
okay,
many
so
stugats.
he's something. He is something, okay? And then Rhaenyra, she brings all the blondies back home, says, you blonde, jump on in.
Sure.
Let's go. And all the blondies except Hugh and Ulf pretty much get eaten and, burned. And then, yeah, that's really all you need to know. That's the basics.
All right, fair enough. All right, this episode was called The Red Sowing, episode 207, the penultimate Mary episode of season 2 of House of the Dragon. The next episode will be the finale for season 2, which is in contrast to what happened in the first season, which I think it was 10 episodes. So a shortened season, but that is that. The Red Sowing, the director is Lonnie Peristeri. I apologize, Lonnie, if I didn't get that right. Either way, though, Mary, where is Lonnie from?
Boston?
Your cousin. From Boston.
He is, baby.
Wow.
Good old Boston guys. So I will admit, never knew this guy existed. Never knew it was a thing. But then I saw that he was born in Boston. I said, it's my guy.
You know who also was from Boston?
Who?
Split screen for a second.
Sure.
Who
All right.
you need to know, who you don't even know, but I'm just saying you need to know.
Okay.
Steve from the male gymnastics team. Once again, you don't even know what I'm talking about.
No.
You're wearing glasses as a homage to Steven, you don't even know. Steve, we're going to go into it, you and I tonight, Blake.
Okay.
Steve, friends. Steve, glasses, Clark Kent.
Can't wait to get
Boston.
into Steve.
Oh,
You know what?
there you go. Back to you, Blake. Back to you.
That's what she said.
Back to you.
I can't. Luckily, that was not a clean cut, Mary. Luckily,
So what did Lonnie
we're
do?
We're in good shape. All right, Lonnie here. He actually did visual effects shot design for the television series Firefly, but also, Mary, he made his bones doing the television visual effects shot design for one of my favorite shows of all time.
So say we all.
Battlestar Galactica. So that is that, and he essentially, because of his work on those two shows, set the standard for the look of modern visual effects cinematography for the shows that we're seeing in today's age, which is really great. And he has directed many different TV series, including the show Warrior, The Witcher. I know Mary and I gave that first season a shot. It was not for she and I, but a number of people love it. He also directed American Horror Story, Project Blue Book, and Castle Rock 911, a series of unfortunate events on Netflix, and Queen of the South, as well as Scream Queens, Code Black, and Banshee. So lots of directing prowess here for many different kinds of shows. And I got to tell you, Mary, I think you can see it in this direction. This episode, I think, took a lot of different forms. And if you recall, Mary, maybe a couple of episodes ago, we talked about the greatest shows ever created.
This is the greatest show.
The greatest shows ever created could be many things at once. It didn't have to be one thing.
You don't have to have Hugh Jackman. It helps.
Yeah, no, yeah. Well, we all know he walks on clouds at all times, Hugh Jackman. By the way, still have not seen Deadpool and Wolverine. I need to do that. I need to do that within the next couple of days because I'm starting to see some spoilers and it's starting to anger me. So if any of you mention any spoilers in the chat, you're dead to me. All right. The writer was David Hancock. He wrote episode 203, one of the better episodes of this season, The Burning Mill. All right, Marvin. Flame time. How many flames are you giving this episode?
Thanks to Vermithor. Hopefully I said that right.
You did?
Hey, I can speak it all. Valerian. Hi,
I
Valerian.
can speak.
I'm basically the Aegon of the High Valerian. But thanks to Vermithor, this is a raging 4.9.
All right.
4.95.
How is this not a 5 for you?
I will tell you why
All right,
in a
fair
moment.
enough, fair enough.
4.95.
All right. Wow. You're going with the hundredths.
Yeah, friends joining live.
That's
We want to know
very
your
rare.
score.
That is
it is
very rare.
super rare.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Well, I'm going 4.85. This was probably
That's
my
pretty
second.
much like
Yeah.
us in tandem.
It's probably my second favorite episode of this season. There's a lot of great here, and again, this is many things. It's not just stuck to one thing. But we'll get into why it's a 485. All right, you ready for your GBG? You're good, you're bad, and you're great.
Sure am. All right. My
Right.
good for this episode. Sir Simon Strong's outfit.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
He shows up to the werewood knowing he is hosting the party of all parties. He still has meat. Okay. He still has meat. He still has some food. He's
Sure.
got a leaky castle with some weird goat and a barn owl lady. But Sir Simon Strong, in his glorious, dare I say, Dumbledore wizard worthy outfit. You need to pull up a picture, Blake, to see what Sir Simon Strong was wearing, because he had like multiple levels of outfit. It was all sorts of decorated. We have just seen this guy in like dark and dank, and he has just been so sad with his creepy, weird sons who don't have table manners, and he's been stuck with Daemon and his witch, and he is here to partay. He is so excited for all of his friends of the Riverlords to come up. They've got a playlist. They've got snacks. They're ready to party like it's 1999. And then little Oscar Tully drops the beheading moment, okay? And his facial expressions in his party outfit
I'm not finding
are
Sir
priceless.
Simon Strong.
You just need to go through the show itself.
I'm trying.
And when he is talking with Daemon with his eyeballs, saying, oh man, kahune stugats.
Stugas.
That's all you see in Sir Simon Strong's eyeballs. And he wore his awesome outfit, thinking he was about to have the time of his life with his friends. And it changed like that. So honestly, it actually goes for Sir Simon Strong in that awkward conversation. Thank you, Oscar Tully. But I just needed to give a shout out to his epic outfit. You got to see in the close-up shots.
I'm trying.
No, I'm just saying for you, Blake. Like, it is so good. And I'm proud of him that he has this in his wardrobe. And I was here for him to be the hostess with the mostest. All right. You ready for
I don't.
my bad?
Yeah, we don't have it. I can't find
It's
it.
okay. It's not in the like pictures.
No, it's not.
No one from the Associated Press is like, you know what we need? We need a high def picture of Sir Simon Strong, because Mary Larson is going to pack out that it is his best outfit yet. And he is so excited to have company that isn't Daemon. All right. My bad for this episode
Okay. Yep.
actually takes place within the same place.
Okay.
So my great was the whole Oscar awkward situation in Sir Simon Strong.
Sure.
My bad is Willem Blackwood
Okay.
cussing, dropping F-bombs.
Well, hey, when you're about to die.
No, okay? So here's a scoop poop. This show is gory.
Mhm.
This show is incesty. This show occasionally can swear.
Sure.
I really appreciate when shows can be intelligent enough that they don't need to swear.
Okay.
And to me, Sir William Blackwood dropping the F-bomb twice when he's kind of being held back by the soldiers took me out of this
Really?
imaginary world and took me to 2024. Took me into like, oh, that's vernacular. That's what someone would say now.
But that didn't happen with Game of Thrones. They swore all the time on Game of
The
Thrones.
way that it was either the choice of it, because he says it twice. And so I was just like, all right, get another word, Willem.
Sure.
You deserve to die. I just don't know if it was his delivery of it that just took me out.
Okay.
But I really think that they could have used a different, because exactly, like, they swear in this show. They've sworn in Game of Thrones. It's
Sure.
not like I'm clutching my pearls.
Yeah.
But it took me out. And
Okay.
it made me go, ew, come on, show. You're better than that.
Fair enough.
You've got a whole made up language.
That's
You've got
true.
a couple of whole made up languages.
I got a lot, actually.
Just have him say like, "Oh, the gods, help me!" Like we're in the werewolf. Like I don't know. Just say you know.
Mhm.
Don't drop f bombs.
Fair enough.
So he deserved to die.
All right, fair enough.
My
He
great
deserved to die because he swore.
was was the How to Train Your Dragon moments
Oh,
that we
yeah.
got. Friends, if you have not watched the DreamWorks movie of How to Train Your Dragon
Well, the trilogy.
trilogy,
Oh, change your
I
life.
don't care if you don't watch cartoons. I don't care if there's not kids in your life. But if there are kids in your life,
Yep.
and if you do like cartoons,
It ain't a cartoon. It's not a cartoon.
animated movie.
Thank you.
Computer animated movie. It is incredible. Absolutely incredible on so many levels when you really sit down and you think about it. Just differences amongst people or creatures, people with disabilities being appreciated for who they are and still sometimes being the strongest, bravest, wisest people of them all. Female lead being the strongest. It's flipping them phenomenal, okay? We love How to Train Your Dragon in the Larson family.
Big fans.
Hardcore.
We're going to Universal next year just for that.
Just for that. If we could save up enough money. When Rhaenyra puts her hand out, I started to sing to Blake the How to Train Your Dragon theme because that's what they do in How to Train Your Dragon when they bond with their dragon mate. Essentially, they touch their snout. And so then Hugh did that as well, and it was just this beautiful moment. And even Ulf flying around reminded me of Hiccup on his first ride. It even reminded me, get ready for sound cue.
Okay, what do you got?
Ulf flying around actually even reminded me of Harry Potter flying on Buckbeak.
Oh, okay.
You're a wizard, Harry.
So just the sheer joy, granted Vermithor kills everybody, but the sheer joy of, wow, this is a really cool dragon, and dragons are finding their people. Loved it. The whole CGI with the dragons, amazing. I'm here for it.
All right.
How about you?
So that was
your
your great.
GBG.
All right.
Yes.
My good goes to you, Mary. My good goes to you for pointing out Rhaenyra in the background during the Hugh and Vermithor scene. I didn't see it at first, but then I did see it.
Pays to have ADHD.
It does. And it was phenomenal. You wouldn't have seen it if you weren't paying attention. I didn't see it. But just in the background, you can see Rhaenyra's figure with that burnt red dress.
It's the light on her white hair.
Yeah, it stands out, and it just looks tremendous.
Yeah,
and it gave the scene not a whole new meaning, but it gave it more dynamic. It gave it more texture. Loved it. Actually, Mary, my GBG is all the same thing.
Is it all me?
No.
Oh, come on.
Mary.
All things I pointed out?
You would never be my bad.
Oh.
Ever.
I mean,
never.
Sometimes.
All right. My bad also is the Vermithor dragon sequence. Because there was no tension whatsoever.
Are you kidding me?
No, I'm not.
I felt it. Where did you not feel tension?
The
Never?
entire thing.
Oh my God. Even when she says like Vermithor, and you hear click, 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 scrape, scrape, scrape.
It was cool. It was great. It was great looking, sounded great, edited very well.
It's because that's called tension.
No, that wasn't. That was spectacle. A lot of the whole scene was spectacle. By the way, there's no problem with spectacle.
Did you need more music?
I love spectacle. No. In fact, I like it when there's not music.
Okay.
When it's called for. The problem that I have is the intent of the scene is to show you Ulf and Hugh.
I took it as the intent of the scene was to show you how big this dragon was.
Well, yeah, but the idea is, okay, we need new riders. And Vermithor is going to choose his rider.
Yes.
We already know. We know that it's going to be
not gonna
either...
be Quasimodo.
We know that it's definitely not going to be that guy.
That poor guy.
When Rhaenyra says, it's up to the dragon now. Let's see what he says. And as soon as the Quasimodo guy walks up, I'm like, dragon's going to say lunch. That's what that dragon's going to say. No, there was no tension because we know that it's either going to be Hugh or it's going to be Ulf. And you know that everybody else is just going to die, given the history of what dragons have already done based off of what we saw with Sir Stefan, right? It's like there was nothing to it. There was no tension because you know that it's just going to be one of those two. The show played its cards way too early. And the way essentially we were just waiting for the plot to catch up to what we already know. And because of that, I'm sitting there going, okay, well, it's just a matter of time. So what's going to happen, right? When Hugh goes to save the girl and says, come on, to the dragon, like, I know nothing's going to happen. And the same thing with Ulf. He steps on the egg. I know nothing's going to happen.
Did they even know that egg was there? Why was that not taken to Pentos?
So I think
That doesn't bother you?
no. Because we already have the other eggs going to
I know.
Pentos.
Like, listen.
I think that the show, it was great spectacle. I enjoyed watching it, but there was something missing from it.
Okay, and you're great.
But my great is actually the entire dragon scene at the end. Despite the fact,
Wait, so your bad was the dragon
I told
scene,
you all my good, bad, and great
but your
was the
great
dragon
is the
scene.
dragon scene.
Yes.
Okay.
And I'm going to tell you why. Because when it does spectacle, it does it awesome.
Okay.
It was big. It was an entire movie unto itself.
Correct.
It was tiring. It was flashy. It was audacious. It did everything that you would expect that kind of scene to do, and leave it there and say, this is what we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, absolutely. If you weren't paying attention, that scene probably scared the hell out of you. Like, what is going to happen? And it was full of great editing, great sound, great directing. You knew where you were. You knew where the other players were. Again, Mary, you mentioned it earlier. You saw Rhaenyra in the background overlooking Hugh. You knew everything all at once. Spectacular. Truly, truly great. It was awesome, except for the fact that there was just no tension, which I think is what the show wanted you to have. And then there's also, I think, Mary, and I have a sub-bad. My sub-bad is, I think the writing for this episode was great until we get to the point of the dragon scene, because it starts off with Rhaenyra saying to the group, you're going to be transformed. Like,
If
once you do,
chosen, you'll
if
be.
chosen, you're going to be transformed. Great. If you're not going to have the tension, because we know that it's going to be Hugh or Ulf, like, we know it. How are they being transformed? If I had to go back and rewrite it somehow, the way that I would have written it,
Oh, do tell us. Take us to church, Blake.
the way that I would have written it plays out the same exact way. You have all the people running around. You know that Hugh's going to be in trouble. Everything stays the same except for the fact that when he sees the girl and Vermithor is about to go to town on the girl, instead of him saying, hey, over here, like Jurassic Park, Jeff Goldblum, what you should have done is have Vermithor start to blow flame and then have Hugh push the girl out of the way. Hugh get enveloped by the flame. That would say, at first you'd be like, oh, dude, guy's dead. D-E-D, dead. But the flame goes away and Hugh is still there.
Fun fact, I did some research on the fireproof Targaryen thing, and that was something that the showrunners just did for Daenerys in Game of Thrones, and it's actually not part of George R.R. Martin's lore
Okay.
that Targaryens are fireproof.
Okay,
But
but
that's something they just made up. So
whatever.
but like we were talking about Aegon and Rhaenys, and like how could they be harmed by dragon fire? Maybe it's only because it's dragon fire, but I guess in this universe, really, if you get burned by fire, it doesn't matter if you're Targaryen.
Yeah.
You get burned.
But, and you could make the argument that Rhaenys didn't get burned by Vagar's fire because she clearly didn't. Maybe she was protected. I don't know. But there's enough of a visual language there to suggest that some Targaryens don't get burned. And I would have loved to seen that kind of physical transformation of Hugh, and then it would subvert your expectations. Like, you spent all this time with this guy and then he's dead. Wait, nope, he's actually really a Targaryen. Like, that's a thing. And there he is in the flame. It comes out, and then the whole Vermithor, How to Train Your Dragon moment. That's how I would have written it.
Yeah.
Because it would have paid off on the transformation and would have paid off by subverting expectation.
Good.
So, I don't know. I'm not here to make a better show.
Hey,
I'm just a podcaster in my basement.
There you go, man. There you go.
All right, Team Green or Team Black, Mary?
Well, Blake, you are wearing, for our friends who are just listening, you are wearing a green shirt.
Yes.
So you are still Team Green.
I
Elaborate.
am triple downing
Wow.
on green right now. I am
Do tell.
I cannot be Team Black. I can't do it. Because now Rhaenyra got these dragons and she's just letting any Tom, Dick, or Harry just get on these dragons and just fly around making decisions.
You really have a problem with this?
Yes.
Oh.
Okay, let's put it into our world.
Okay.
All right. Let's just say.
You're just okay.
Let's just say, for the sake of argument, okay, if President Reagan during the 80s, instead of paring down nuclear weapons as he did, let's just say he's like, you know what we need more of? We need nukes. And we need so many nukes that we don't have enough people to watch over them or to make sure that they take off. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to get anybody in my bloodline, anybody. It could be any minuscule amount. We're going to bring them all in. We're going to bring them all in. And then we're just going to give them the power to hit the button.
I got the power.
Whenever they feel like it, because they're Reagan. They have as much training. They know what they're doing. They're part of my bloodline.
So this is why you're green.
You absolutely cannot just give some jabroni a nuclear weapon.
Ye
Hey,
of little faith.
go give that guy down the road at Dunkin' smoking his ciggies with a six-pack. Yeah. Go give him a nuclear weapon. Let's just see what happens.
Oh my God.
Are you out of your mind? Could you imagine if the president today did that?
No.
Everybody would be like,
Very upset.
it would be upsetting.
Yeah.
I have different reasons from Jace, but I don't blame Jace for being pissy about it.
I understand.
So no,
I appreciate Jace.
I absolutely cannot be on Team Black. Can't do it.
Okay.
No one else can say anything other than that.
That's great.
Can't do it.
Okay, so I am Team Black adjacent once again. Last week, I was Team Black for my love for House Stark. I am wearing some white for my House Stark still. And I am wearing blue today because you want to know whose team I'm on?
Sure.
Team Black adjacent.
Okay.
Still here for Team Black. I'm actually okay with them having more dragons.
And how are you
people
representing Black?
Because I'm wearing blue.
Oh, okay.
And Team Blue is House Aaron
Oh.
and House Tully.
Okay.
So Oscar Tully, I just feel like he needs a little shout out for growing those thugats.
Yep.
I just had to wear some blue for him. The House Tully colors are red and blue.
Yep.
And Lady Aaron,
Sure.
granted, I think she's part elf from Lord of the Rings, the way that she walks and the way that she handles herself. But girlfriend's got the right plan. War is coming. Get everybody out.
Yeah. You know what? Time
you don't
to go.
have to go home, but you got to get the hell out of here.
Can't stay here.
And I love that because that's kind of where I want to be right now. I don't love what's going on in the greens. I don't love what's going on in the blacks because I hear you. I'm not saying give everyone a dragon is a great idea. I see why Rhaenyra is doing it, and it worked at the end of the episode for at least a millisecond.
Sure.
I don't think it's the greatest idea. So if you had to ask me, Mary, who would you want to be right now? I would be Lady Aaron.
Just shut the doors.
Get the heck out of my house. Get those baby dragons out of here. Get everyone out.
We here in the Vale are
Just
great.
Shut the doors.
Yeah.
and I actually do technically have a dragon somewhere. So
Yeah.
there you go.
It's running around here. Two of
There
them, as a
you
matter of
go.
fact.
Is she the hostess with the mostest? Is she Sir Simon Strong? No.
No. But she don't care.
Is she pretty much the smartest person right now? Yeah.
Yeah.
Guys, when there's drama in the workplace, when there's drama in your family, when there's drama in your neighborhood, be Lady Aaron.
Just shut the doors.
Yeah, just sneak away. Don't get involved in it. But I'm Black adjacent, still waiting for my Starks. Where the heck are my Starks?
They're going to show up next episode.
Oh,
they
have
better.
to.
I hope so.
If not, then I just got teased a whole season.
I know.
Yeah, so that's where I am. I'm still rooting for Team Black. I'm still here for Rhaenyra. And I'm with her friends who are rocking some blue. Little questioning what's going on, but we're here for it.
All right. You ready? Who's ready for your dad?
I am ready for my dad.
All right, let's
Does
go.
he
Here
not
we go.
have music?
No, he doesn't have music.
He needs music. Next season.
All right.
Next season we'll
I'll
find
Yeah,
something.
next season we'll figure it out.
We'll
All right,
ask
here
him
we
what
go.
he wants.
Hey, this is Mary's dad checking in about episode 7, those House of the Dragon. Boy, so much in here. It was great to see what Ulf and Hugh, what their purpose finally is. It was something to see all the different things going on. But I've got to say that I'm definitely Team Black, and
Yes.
all of my 3 points are about the same scene. My
Oh my
good
goodness.
was where Oliver Tully
Yes.
comes across as quite the leader despite his youthful age, and he really has some standards of character and integrity to hold up.
Press pause.
My bad
Press
had
pause.
to be
Oh, press pause. Okay, so my dad said his 3 things are on the same
Yes.
scene.
Yes.
If my dad says that the guy swears,
Oh my God! There's no way. There's no way.
he's probably gonna say like, "I feel bad that Willem Blackwood dies."
Yes.
That's what he's probably gonna say. But if my dad says he swears,
There's no chance.
no
if he
chance.
does,
But in my dreams,
if he does, I quit.
I bet he was gonna say him getting
I'm
beheaded.
asking
He didn't
for
think
a
that was
refund.
good. He's gonna say that wasn't good of Daemon. That's what I bet my dad's
All
gonna
right,
say.
here we go. Here we go.
Daemon going ahead and
Mary, you called it. You called it. Great job. That's the first words out of his mouth, Daemon.
Yes.
Here we go.
realizing that despite his arrogance, this young fella has all the chips in his hand, and deciding that he's going to sacrifice Lord Blackwood, who took on the task that Daemon had given him. Daemon's thinking that, well, if I kill Blackwood, I'll get the Riverlands armies to come with me, and maybe they'll be placated. He's going to get that objective, but at the same time, he's even lowering himself further in the view of all those Riverlands people. And my best has to
All right. What is it?
Okay, so he says it still takes place in the same part. Like my
Yeah.
dad says his GBG, is it Sir Simon Strong? Is his best Sir Simon Strong? Maybe not his outfit, but the looks that they give each other. Could that be it?
Let's say let's follow the language of the show. It's Sir Simon Strong adjacent. Let's put it that way.
Okay.
Fair enough?
What is my dad's best?
All right, here we go.
be Sir Stefan with the subtle quote of the night. Oh dear.
Sir Simon!
He did say Sir Simon.
He just made it Sir
Hey,
Stefan.
this is Mary's.
Yeah.
He called it Sir Stefan because my dad's name is Stephen, and he just turned Sir Simon into Sir Stephen.
Mary.
Dad! Yes! My dad, who's listening to this, probably heard all my GBGs and was like, that's my daughter. That's my daughter.
You are your father's daughter. Holy smokes. Wow. Great stuff. Oh, man. Michael here says, are we sure Daemon didn't kill the kid?
Yes.
Listen.
I say yes.
I think there's a 4.5% chance that he killed Oscar Tully. There's a 4.5% chance.
You're keeping it open. We didn't see a dead body. And that's the rule. We have to see a dead body.
Yep.
Have to see a head.
But if I'm putting money on it, it's Willem Blackwood. That's who it is. And Michael also said Sir Simon Strong needs to figure out if Lady Arryn has any rooms on Verbo. Poor guy.
Seriously. He and his beautiful outfit deserve to see the moon door.
Oh,
Just
all
not
right.
fall down
So, all right, Mary.
Okay.
What do you? I mean, we talked about a lot so far.
Okay, I kind of just need to go. I know we don't usually do this. I need to go in order of what happens in the show, or else I'm going to forget some things.
All right, so
I
let's
took notes.
here we go. Let's also be mindful of the time because
Yes.
we're already at 36 minutes.
Yes.
All right, so I
Ready?
don't want to have another 2-hour job.
No. Ready?
Yes.
Driftmark. We talked about it. Rhaenyra meeting Addam of Hull.
Yes.
He says Seasmoke chose me. Then Rhaenyra's like, who's your family? And he's like, family don't matter, honey. I'm going to take the knee for you.
Yep. Exactly.
And she's down. She's into it.
I
Anything to say?
really loved this scene, especially because, first of all, just the shot itself is, like I said at the top of this episode, it's iconic. It is awesome. And the fact that they opened the episode up with this was perfect.
How did you interpret the dragon interaction? What do you think the dragons were saying to each other?
I think it was, all right, everybody calm down. Calm down. I know what he's going to say. I know what he's doing. Just
Really?
give it a minute.
Okay, so you think that's what
Let this
Seasmoke
play.
said?
Yeah, I think Seasmoke's going up to Cyrax and being like, hey, all right, everybody chill out.
Oh my God. I took it as super defensive. I took Syrax being like, who the hell do you think you are? You leave us? No note? You could have been dead.
You could have died.
You could have died. Okay, so Syrax is really mad. And Seasmoke did not look like a, hey, chill. Seasmoke was kind of mean.
I don't know. I feel like
Seasmoke was like, back off. This is my new honey.
that's what I'm saying. I think he's like, hey, whoa. Chill out, Cyrax. It's okay. It's okay. Everybody's going to be cool. We're all going to be cool.
Oof.
All right?
Syrax was not
let him say
happy.
his piece. Okay? That's my feeling on the matter. But yeah, I really liked that scene. I loved, Emma Darcy is really impressing me this
really is.
season. I think the acting is just stellar.
You know what excites me about her?
What?
Is that without the wig, she will be able to do any role. Because she is such a phenomenal actor, I cannot wait to see her in other shows, other movies.
Yeah.
And I'm here to say, a lot of people, when you see them, I kind of can't forget who they were.
Time out real quick. I think the preferred pronouns for Emma Darcy is they.
Oh, thank you. Thank you
Yes.
very
You're
much.
welcome.
Yeah, so I am really excited to see who they are in upcoming shows and upcoming movies.
Sure.
Just because of the hair that they wear as Rhaenyra
Yes.
is such a big part. Just like how with actually Daenerys Targaryen, I had a hard time when I saw her in other things, but that's
Sure.
but her hair was a big part. So Rhaenyra's hair is a giant thing, and I'm so excited for Emma Darcy to be able to be in other film and television shows without this giant white wig,
Sure.
and yet still rock at their craft.
Yep. I was not sold on them in the first season.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like it was a cheap knockoff of Daenerys.
Mm-hmm.
But I felt about the first season. Like it started to separate itself a little bit, but it still felt like it was riding the coattails. However,
Big
season
huge.
2, I think there's been a vast improvement, and I feel better about not only the show, but I feel better about Emma Darcy and their ability to inhabit this role as Rhaenyra.
When we're talking about Addam and Alan of Hull, and they have this conversation a little bit, I'm just trying to think, like, as Addam is talking to Rhaenyra and he's saying, my father is nothing of consequence. Can I just say, I thought Corlys could ride dragons.
Yeah, I felt like he could too.
Now, we've never seen him on a dragon, but I thought it's because he was injured or he was always out at sea.
Yeah, sure.
I swear, like, I would have believed that he would have had a dragon flying around the boats.
Mhm.
I figured Valerian, that he has the white hair. He's probably a dragon rider. Dragon rider plus dragon rider make dragon rider babies.
Mhm.
But I think the show is actually telling us that no, Corlys is not a dragon rider.
Right.
That his blood would not have had the dragon rider blood, because when he later talks to Alan,
Yeah. He's saying, yeah,
he
we're
says
from
it must have been your
Valyria,
mom.
but your mother
Yeah.
must have been a Targaryen.
But I'm shocked.
Yeah.
I really, and it's the white hair. It's Corlys's white hair
Sure.
that made me think all this time that he too is a dragon rider. I just
Right.
thought everybody at the family table was riding dragons or had the ability potentially
Sure.
to.
Sure.
Okay, so then we go, and Grandmaster Orwell is with Alicent in her boo-boo, her matching cut.
Yeah, I got to tell you, the stuff with Alicent is among my favorite stuff this season has done so far. Throughout the whole season, yes, but also this episode in particular, that shot of her in the lake with her hair just floating. This is one of those scenes where you actually had some tension because you weren't sure if she was going to take her own life. It's not to say that, oh yeah, it's a guarantee or whatever, but there was enough there for you to be like, okay, well, what is Alicent going to do from now on? I don't know. And yes, she's a main character, But this feels ominous, and it does not. We all know that she feels like she does not have a place at the Red Keep. She does not have a place, within her own family. She largely what's happening now is because of her and her refusal to go to the rest of the Greens and say, "Whoa, guys,
I made a mistake."
Messed up." So. Yeah, I could see her really falling apart at the seams. But Mary, I'm not sure if you caught this. There is that moment where she is floating in the lake.
And she sees the bird?
She sees the bird.
Of course I caught that.
Okay, fair enough. And then as soon as she sees the bird, she starts swimming to shore.
Yes.
To me, that is Daddy's arrived.
Oh.
I got a note from Otto. Like something what I feel like is I'm listless, I have no support, and then finally she sees the note from her dad.
Can I challenge that?
Okay, sure.
To her good son, his dragon is taking flight. They say that when they're having the small council meeting. Oh, just so you know, Prince Regent, your younger brother, his dragon is now at flight. Mm-hmm. So maybe... I mean, she doesn't know if her dad's written her a letter or that her younger son is able to fly now, but he was a good one.
Yeah, I really like that. I like that take too.
Fun fact for you, all of the scenes had these cloudy skies.
Oh, yeah.
None of the skies were sunshine. Even when Vhagar comes through the clouds at the very last scene, it's cloudy. So I just love that even the visualization of what's going on in the heavens above us is stormy, but not fully stormy. Like the storms are brewing. And I know this thanks to the audio description.
The bane of my existence.
It is one of my favorite things to do is to listen with the audio description. Once again, for those who have, just difficulties with sight, they said, it was a gray sky with a cloud. And I was like, thanks for pointing that out.
Another thing that I noticed too, Mary, is when Alicent she's taken off her dress and she's about to go into the lake, there's that really great close-up of Alicent. And the camera, if you notice, it's kind of out of focus the whole time. And I just thought, man, that is really cool stuff. And that's my boy Lonnie. That's my boy Lonnie. And why is he my boy?
Your cousin from Boston.
Awesome.
I thought it was really smart of Alicent to remove herself. After last episode, she was kicked off the small council.
Yes.
Also, she was threatened to be married off in the last episode.
Yep.
So I think that it is out of sight, out of mind. Yes, I need to go and figure out my brain because holy smokes, have I made a tremendous mess of this kingdom. I also don't love what's going on with who's in charge, and my dad's not here, and all things are going crazy. But if she's not around, hopefully they're not thinking of using her as a bargaining chip. Mm-hmm. So I just thought that was really smart of her.
Yep.
The soldier that's with her, though, I don't think he wants to be camping.
No,
Sir Rickard.
It is, like you mentioned it earlier, Mary, that she was glamping. Is it glamping?
To her, it is.
How is that? If there's anybody on this planet that knows how to glamp, other than Sir Gifsalot. Sir Gifsalot knows how to glamp.
Know how to give, yeah.
Lord John. Oh, he actually invented glamping.
Probably.
Alicent knows how to clamp.
Well, here's the thing. She wanted to get out of Dodge. She didn't want to cause a commotion. She didn't want a lot of people to know. But she's got Sir Rickard being probably her laundry washer.
Yep.
He's cooking her some rabbit stew right now.
Fair.
So she just still doesn't have to lift a finger. But when he's asking her, "Milady, like, when do you want to go home tonight?" And she says, "No." And he says, "Well, when do you want to go back?" And she goes, "I don't know." You just see the look in Sir Rickard's face where he thought, this isn't fun anymore.
I'm part of the King's Guard.
Yeah, I have a nice bed. I have hot meals that somebody else makes. I don't do laundry. What?
I mean, I could do this for like a day or two. Maybe I could push it to 3. But you want to be out here for for the rest of the time?
Where are we
Ain't no way, lady. I didn't sign up for this.
Like, seriously. No, thank you. So I just adore his face because he is not here for that.
I agree.
Okay, so we have While we're also in King's Landing, Larys is standing, and he's there with Ironrod, and Ironrod's like, "Oh, I heard there was a cat dragon," and Larys is like, "Great, you do what you want to do with that information, because I'm not really on your team, but you don't need to know that." So Larys and Ironrod are looking down, and the soldiers that are being stripped of their white coats and being sent off to the wall are King
Yes.
Aegon's bros, like his friends,
His lick spittles.
Yes.
Yes.
Those guys, and they're being told that they're the ones that started the riot.
Yeah, because they have to have a fall guy.
Yes.
And it's those 2 jabronis or 3 jabroni, whatever they are.
And also what happens while we're here at King's Landing is King Aegon, speaking of which, he's mobile.
Yeah, so I want to ask you, what do you make of Larys helping Aegon so much? Is it because he thinks that Aegon is going to be king again and I need to have a place? Or dare I say, Mary, that there is a little bit of humanity in Larys and he actually just really wants to help somebody that he knows is kind of like him?
I think both. I think that he knows that Aemond is crazy and harmful to this world.
Yep.
And he thinks that at least with Aegon heard his mother, he heard Larys, and he sadly was a bit more of a puppet than Aemond was. So I think that Larys knows if there is any chance of us getting Aegon back on the throne, we have to do it to save the realm. But also, I agree with you. I think there is a lot of the humanity. I mean, let's be real. The Maester gave the king the worst crutch ever. Why not ask Larys, hey, will this do for a crutch, or will this break in half? Seeing Aegon all scarred and the pain that he has, and
oh, by the way, the acting, that kid with with all the moving
so
and the
good.
yelling and the screaming, forget about it.
What I want to ask you is, why is Larys telling the Maester, give him only a couple hours rest, but he needs to be back at it, because he's not going to be able to rest for a while. That's what Larys says. He says, let him rest for only a couple of hours, but he needs to get back at it. He needs to keep exercising. He needs to be pushed, because he will not be able to rest for a while.
Well, what I can tell you is...
Or he said he won't be getting much rest soon.
Yeah, what I can tell you from my own personal experience is this. When I was in a really, really bad car accident when I was 18, I had to learn how to walk again. And it was really hard. And what I wanted to do was rest. And my leg was almost gone. Like, I almost didn't have one. And I just wanted to lay down. I wanted to chill out. But I remember the nurses telling me, no, like, I was there for weeks. No, you got to get out of bed. You got to get up now. And you have to, okay, walk, to the chair. Okay, now walk to the door. Okay, let's go back. All right, now you got to walk outside the door. And, like, within 2 days, I was up and moving. So I think medically that's good advice, because that's what I had in Boston. But I also think that there's this notion too that maybe there is a little chance here that Aegon can regain some authority. And if he's going to do it, it's got to happen soon, and it's got to happen quickly.
Yeah.
Because all of this is going to go down, and Aemond is at the helm. And who knows what's going to happen with Aemond at the helm. In fact, we already saw what that could look like.
Yeah.
At the end of the episode, Aemond, when he hears, hey, there's a dragon, what does he do? He doesn't talk to his council. He doesn't think about it. He just gets on his horse and goes to Vega and is like, I'm going to kill this dude.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, he turns around because he sees 3 dragons. But you can already see that something that I didn't think was going to happen. Aemond made a bad choice in regards to the tactics. I thought he was much smarter than that.
Oh. He's still that little boy that was picked on who
Sure.
wants to have a knee-jerk reaction. I saw it also, too, as, yes, Larys heard this rumor from Ironrod, who heard it from his stable boy, who heard it from
Yeah.
everyone. even though Larys isn't portraying that he believes in all of this, part of me thinks that Larys does believe in it. Maybe Larys has already heard about it through his whisper connections. Maybe he does know that there has been someone, a dragon rider. And maybe it's saying it's about Aegon, that like, no, war continues to pick up. People be getting more dragons. We may have to actually move him out of King's Landing.
Yep.
So I agree with you. I think it
Yeah,
was
I think
a
there's
little bit of both.
there's a lot of things there.
Yeah.
It's more than just, okay, let's get better. It's like, no, we got a lot of things happening. If this kid is alive, who knows what his brother's going to do to him. There's a million things happening. So, yes, I
Speaking
agree.
of things happening, in the Vale, we have Rhaenyra, who's about to be leaving with Rhaenyra's sons, the princes.
Yeah, out.
And they're going to Pentos with all the eggs. And Lady J. Aaron gives her the little peace sign.
See you later.
Farewell.
Yep.
You don't need to stay here. And Rhaenyra just decides to go on off and chase after the dragon. How do these soldiers not
Agreed.
realize that Rhaenyra is missing?
Yeah. Like, where did she go?
Or maybe Lady Aaron was like, she doesn't matter, but the princes do. I don't know.
I don't think that happened.
I don't know.
I would agree with you that...
Lady Aaron said, I'm sending my best soldiers with you.
Yeah.
My best ones.
And you just...
Did she send the dumbest ones? Did she keep the best ones for herself? Probably.
Lady Aaron, she knows what's up. She got a little tricked with the dragons. She said, okay, fool me once, that's on me. Fool me twice, or whatever.
Sure, I'll send you as soldiers.
Yeah.
Wink,
Yeah.
wink.
I'll give you my best soldiers.
My best at chess. Yeah. Okay, so that'll be interesting to see. Hopefully we get, obviously next week being the final episode, we're going to see Rhaenyra meet this dragon in some way, shape, or form. Okay, we're at Harrenhal.
Yeah.
Maybe my dad's favorite place to be right now.
So Harrenhal, I think, was actually for the first time quite good. Well, I don't want to say that for the first time, but for the first time in a while, quite good. Have I loved this little detour, this little A24, film, which actually in this episode really lived up to its name, because there's this great A24 film called The Witch, and The Witch featured a black goat, and the black goat was the devil, which, by the way, Mary, we're going to watch this movie for Halloween.
Oh, thank you.
I get one scary movie a year on Halloween.
Oh, thank you.
But it is so good. It's so
Is it about
good.
like demonic possession? and
No,
stuff?
it's not.
I don't do that stuff.
It's so good. Anyway, have I enjoyed this little detour? Yes.
Just a mean goat. I don't want a mean
No,
goat.
the goat, it's more represent. It's a metaphor.
Let me just watch The Nightmare Before Christmas.
No. I get one scary movie a year.
Okay, let's move on from this.
So what I'm saying is, I like the little detour, but finally we get something happening in addition to the scary A24 movies. All right, like Daemon actually does something that affects the plot and moves things forward. And looking back on all of this, it kind of reminds me, Mary, of Jack, Kate, and Sawyer in Lost in the jail cells.
Oh.
We have to go back, Kate.
That's what it kind of reminds me of. Like, they just couldn't progress anything, so we're going to just put them in jail cells. And that's what Harrenhal has been for Daemon.
I mean, couldn't you argue that his being here and him kind of going crazy slightly and challenging what his thoughts and beliefs are led him to saying, okay, fine, I'll cut this guy's head off?
No, because I think he would have done that anyway.
Okay, you think previous? Okay.
Yeah, because I don't think he has enough of a moral code.
Would previous Daemon have let Oscar Tully speak to him that way?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. If I don't know, if Daemon had done something, because right, his goal all along has been to be king. If Daemon had let someone say something, or if Oscar Tully said, okay, you can have my army. Let's go to King's Landing right now. And he said, no. Like, if he had done something of that nature where he learned from his visions, then I would say...
But he might. We still have next episode.
No, I agree. But I'm saying up until this point, because I can't tell you what's going to happen next episode. But you asked me, didn't he learn anything from this? Like, would he have... And I'm not sure if his actions have shown that he's learned anything from his visions. His actions doesn't mean that he hasn't learned it, but he hasn't done anything to show that yet. See what I'm saying?
Okay.
So
we're hanging out there. Oscar did an amazing job in this episode, in this scene. Let me pull up my notes because I was just like in love with everything Oscar. Where are you, Oscar notes? Where are you? Stall for me, Blake. Okay.
Okay, got it? You got it?
Yes, I do.
Oh, okay, good.
Okay. Oscar Tully shows up, and Daemon says, hey, your grandfather's dead. Well done. And Oscar says, I did nothing. Meaning, I didn't kill him.
Yeah.
Don't say well done, man, because the last time I saw you, you told me to kill him.
Condescending Daemon is my second favorite Daemon. Like, it is so great. Like, that's great for you. Good job.
He talks about how the Riverlands are held by oaths. And he's like, so, yeah, they're going to stick by you because my grandfather said yes to King Viserys. King Viserys said yes to Rhaenyra. So, like, yeah, we're here, but there's a problem. And he says, they all hate you.
Yeah.
And it is at this point Sir Simon Strong starts pooping his pants, soon after, as Oscar starts just telling it as it is. And you just see Sir Simon Strong in his party outfit give these little glances like, oh my God, we are never, ever, ever getting back together. Like, we're never going to have the party that I thought we were going to have. He says he doesn't love Daemon. Like, says this in front of all the Riverlands people. I don't love Daemon. And at that point, Daemon turns his head and looks at Sir Simon Strong. Like, who the F is this? What is going on?
Yo, who the F is this?
Seriously. But he says, mind your tongue, boy.
Yeah.
And at this point, all the Riverlords bristle because, yeah, he is a boy.
Sure.
But this is their
That's
Lord
their
Paramount.
Lord. Yeah.
And Oscar walks up, nose to nose. Will you have our army or not?
Oh, so good.
After he says, mind your tongue, boy. And he says that Daemon is unworthy of it. Simon then looks at Daemon again. And
calls him a prince.
Yeah. No, he does say King Consort. Yeah. Right. I was just in love with this whole scene. I love seeing all these Riverlords come together. Like I said, the swearing to me was unnecessary. But aside from that, we then go from the head chopping off straight to Dream, creepy Harrenhal. And Daemon passes the goat again. Why is there a goat in Harrenhal, particularly in Daemon's dreams? Why is this goat here? What is the goat's purpose?
Well, okay, so...
Because, yes, there's a deep conversation, and Viserys asks Daemon, do you still want the crown? And that's what I think we're supposed to take from this, that Daemon's time, Daemon's time in Harrenhal has taught him he actually doesn't want the crown. He's totally fine being king consort. He likes to fight. He likes to be naughty. He doesn't want to have to deal with all the politics. This sucks. I don't want the crown after all. He's going to join back up with Rhaenyra in next episode and say, listen, I'm kind of a jerk, but I'm here to fight for you, and look at all these armies that I got. But what is up with the goat?
So there are a couple of different interpretations of the goat. Okay. At least within storytelling, as a rule of thumb. Okay. A rule of thumb is that a goat, in some instances, can be seen as an evil object, and it represents evil, the devil, the whole thing, right? In some instances, it's someone, or it is a creature that represents an equilibrium of two opposites. In many cases, it's including good and evil, right? But it's a sense of balance between, like, good, evil, chaos, and order. Like, that could be one thing. Another thing is, in many Jewish legends, Azazel is a demon or is an evil spirit to whom a scapegoat is sent during the ancient Yom Kippur ritual to bear the sins of the Jewish people. So again, the sins of a people is represented by a goat, right? So if I were to put money on it, it's that. But I think what's more affecting for me, though, Mary, is seeing King Viserys to where he was when it was going to be the end.
Yeah.
And seeing all of the makeup, and for the first time having Daemon see Viserys the way that it really was by the
And
end.
then the after the episode part, someone said, that the actor Patty
Considine
had requested that. He said, I want to be in the full end of life makeup. I want this to be that strong that Daemon gets to see him this way. So it is pretty amazing.
So did you think that was the right choice?
Yeah, I loved it.
Yeah, I like it too, because it does show Daemon okay, you want this, look what it does to you. Look what it did to me. And again, that's why I say if Daemon had done something so far that had shown that he learned from that, I'd be in on okay, I understand why we had all of these things, but I'm not sure if I'm there yet. Another favorite part of mine from Daemon, and you know how I love, Mary, when somebody uses physical touch to intimidate, but subtly, when we talk about Harry Potter, Dolores Umbridge, how she puts her hand on Harry. Or one of my favorite examples when we talk about it is Bane in The Dark Knight Rises, when he's talking to Ben Mendelsohn and he puts his hand on his shoulder, just lays it on his shoulder and says, do you feel in charge? And in this case, Mary, we get that as well with Daemon and Oscar Tully. Daemon puts the hilt of his sword right on the chest piece of Oscar Tully.
Before they go out.
Before they go out. And as soon as that happened, I love these subtle things that just show dominance. But what's even better about it is that it was totally rearranged.
Yes.
And when it actually mattered, it was proven the complete opposite. That is great stuff. Great. That's when you know you're hitting it right. That's when you know you're hitting it right.
Rhaenyra heads back to Dragonstone with Addam and Seasmoke. The council is all in a tizzy, and they're upset because she said that Addam can be their guest. Beef ragout, cheese souffle, pie and pudding on flambe. Okay, they're not here to do that, and they do not want to be Lumiere. But in addition, they're saying that he can be tutored in High Valyrian. People are upset. Mysaria says, okay, you got one, but this is a great idea. Stop looking in your Ancestry.com because you have more relatives than you...
Hashtag not a sponsor.
Not a sponsor. You have more relatives than you can even imagine, all just in King's Landing.
Yeah.
So somehow, this was actually going to be my bad.
Okay.
Somehow Mysaria gets her little note with her friend, and they go in and they tell everybody and anybody that if you've got white hair, if you are somehow related to the Targaryens, to meet on these boats, which are being run by Addam and his friends, and you're going to go and meet Queen Rhaenyra. Everyone knows this.
Yeah.
Everyone.
By the way, the person delivering the message
Yeah.
wearing a bright red cape or cloak.
Seriously. Yes.
Come on, guys. Let's be a little bit more clandestine, shall we?
Everyone knows that they're recruiting Targaryen members of the family, and yet Larys doesn't know Mr. Whispers guy. So are we supposed to believe that Larys didn't know, or are we supposed to think that maybe Larys does know, but he's keeping that secret? I'm under the assumption that Larys doesn't know because we didn't have anything come through.
Yeah, there was no
where he would
inkling
know.
whatsoever.
But I am shocked that this could have been going on in King's Landing and no one knew. No one sent a spy to go on one of these boats. I'm shocked. I think it would have been very sloppy for it to have been that big of a deal, unless it was that quick.
Again, listen, I'm not here to write a better show. I'm not here. But if the conversation between Larys and the other guy wasn't necessarily about, hey, I heard that there's a new dragon rider, but the conversation was, hey, I heard that they're looking for dragon riders. And Larys said, yeah, you know what? let's sit on that one because
Yes.
we don't know yet. We don't know. Then I'd be like, okay, I get it.
Yes. He did know, or
He did know,
yes.
or he just did, or he chose not to believe
Yes.
it, or whatever. But that didn't happen.
Agreed.
And you're right, Mary, for him to not catch wind of this, and it's not like it's between like 4 or 5 people. That was like 50 people
Yes.
that are going on these boats.
50 people went on the boats.
Yeah.
So you have to think that 4 or 5 times that knew
Maybe
about
more.
it. We're
I'd say
talking
10
about
10
it.
times.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
What injury happened to Ulf? When Ulf is sitting down with his friends and they're like, oh, you've been drinking at the expense of all these people, which I also didn't know that. I didn't know that Ulf was throwing around his Targaryen heritage, getting free drinks all this time.
Yeah.
But they threw that in his face that all these people have been buying you drinks because you've been saying that you're dragonseed.
Yeah.
And Ulf says, oh, I can't because of my injury. Do we know what's wrong with Ulf?
No, I don't.
Okay.
But I do know what's wrong with Ulf in this manner.
What?
It's one of the reasons, again, why I'm out on Team Black. This guy just gets on a dragon and says,
Love it.
"Go for a joyride." Screw it. I'm gonna fly over King's Landing.
No, I don't think so.
But whatever.
I don't think that was a joyride. I think
He got on the
Rhaenyra-
dragon. He was
Yes.
pretty happy.
He was happy,
And
but we didn't see him get on. We didn't get to see him get on. Is it Silverwing?
yes.
We didn't see him get on Silverwing, leave the dragon place, and go straight to King's Landing. That was nighttime.
Doesn't matter.
And then it was daytime. I think he got the dragon. Rhaenyra said, okay, everybody, we need someone to go fly over King's Landing to see if we can, ruffle
Even
Aemon's
better.
feathers. And
Even
Ulf
better.
said, choose me.
Yeah. No,
He-
even better. Because you can't just let this jabroni get out there on this dragon and be like, yeah, we're gonna go.
I think it was perfect. I think Ulf is in his happiest, truest form, and he could not wait to go show
Out.
his dragon to his friends.
Out.
His friends, by the way, convince him to go. I love those friends.
Yes,
those
that's
friends
true.
are amazing.
I agree.
They are hysterical. They call him Ulf the Dragon Lord. Ulf the Dragon Lord. So
Everyone's
if you
just
had
drinking beers
Yes!
and having a good time.
of course it needs to be Ulf Dragon Lord that flies over the city. All of his friends know that it's him. They're going to look up, and because we just got to see things from the small circle kind of thing.
Sure.
You know that he swung over the pub and was like, hey, Bobby, Timmy,
Yeah.
look at me. Look at me. They were like, Dragon Lord, Dragon Lord. That's what happened.
This is the exact reason why I'm siding with Jace. It's Ulf. Freaking Ulf. Just riding his dragon around, making bad decisions.
You know who made a bad decision?
Who?
Hugh.
How did he make a bad decision?
First off, I didn't get that his daughter died
Oh,
until
no,
the second
no.
time I watched it.
Oh, really?
Did you get it the first time?
Yeah, he said
Oh, yeah.
I couldn't keep my daughter alive.
Oh, yeah, no, sorry, at that point. But I didn't
Yeah.
realize he was like crying over the bed in the beginning.
Oh, okay.
So he leaves his wife.
That's
she
fair.
says, for the last time, how many times do I need to say it out loud? I want to go to Tumbleton.
Yeah.
With a name like Tumbleton, I think it means Orlando.
Sure.
Orlando. Okay, I think it is Orlando in Westeros. Tumbleton. The way
Yeah.
there's food.
Yep.
There's Mickey.
Coconut drinks.
There's Epcot. Like, let's do it. Let's get to Tumbleton.
Oh, what's the slushy? The orange slushy? Or the pineapple slushy, whatever it is.
Gosh, it's gonna come to me. Dole Whip.
Yes.
Yes.
So much Dole Whip.
That's all she's saying. She's
Yep.
like, Hugh, our daughter's dead. I have been asking for months, if not years, to go to Orlando. It's
Yep.
warm, it's sunny, Mickey is there, and there are Dole Whips everywhere. And you want to go potentially ride a dragon?
Like,
She
you
just
don't
wants
even
to go
know?
to Tumbleton.
You know why she let him do it?
Because she's going to Tumbleton. She's
She's going to get some
done
Dole
with
Whip
this.
while he's gone. And better yet, if he succeeds, she comes back a lady. If he dies, she's got some Dole Whip.
Yeah.
No, there's no point.
So Hugh's mother was the Targaryen.
Yes.
He says, my mother worked in a pleasure house and people paid more money because they wanted to be with someone with silver hair.
Yep.
So his mother was the half-sister.
Yeah, she was auntie. She was auntie to Viserys and Daemon.
No, she
Yeah.
was half-sister. She said her brothers were king and king consort. So he is cousins to Hugh is cousins to Daemon.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, so she was half sibling
Yeah.
of of the king and the king consort.
Correct.
Which is wild and goes to show you that Hugh definitely has a lot of Targaryen
Yes.
blood in him, as
Yes.
do loads of these people. It was like the silver hair convention, watching all those people get into those boats. And Addam, of course,
Silver
pushes
hair
it.
don't care.
Nope. Amen. So all of these people show on up, and a bunch of them get burned. The dragon keepers,
Putting on a walkout.
they say that it is blasphemy.
Yep.
That these are not dragon lores.
Yep.
They are fighting in High Valyrian, right in front of all the small folk.
Yep.
Just yelling at each other. Okay.
It's another reason why I'm out on black.
They say they are not playthings for men.
Yep.
That they should be treated like gods.
Yeah.
And these dragon keepers were right.
Yeah, they are right.
They were right all along.
Just change out the word dragon for nuclear weapon. Okay? Just change it out. If you tell me, hey, we should treat nuclear weapons with respect, I think I'm going to agree.
Yeah.
And if the guys who protected the nuclear weapon were like, dude, this ain't right.
Yeah.
This ain't right. We're going to leave. I think that they're right.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man.
So
Out on black.
She's
So
really
out on
excited. When she's meeting all the small folk, she says these dragons, when added to our number, are going to give us peace. They will restore. They will end suffering, and without bloodshed,
so bad.
God's willing.
So bad.
This
So
is
bad.
what Rhaenyra actually thinks is going to happen. That if they just have the dragons there, that they're going to end the war.
Another reason why you cannot be Team Black.
I am, because I have...
cannot be Team Black.
Well, it works in this episode.
Because she's like, she looks at it and says, you know what we need more of? Nukes. We need more. And guess what that's
No.
going to do? It's going to deter. It's going to make sure we have peace.
No, you know what this
No,
was?
we
This-
know from history that doesn't work.
Well, it worked in Jurassic Park Dominion, okay? Because that's it. It's like, what do we need? We need more teeth. Remember that?
Yes.
And
No,
they get the T-Rex coming on now. Sorry,
Yeah.
not Jurassic World.
It's just
Dominion,
Jurassic World.
World. And they say, what do we need to kill the mutant one?
yes.
We need more teeth. And she goes and she gets the T-Rex. This also reminded me of when Hugh runs out and he is like, oh, I'm here to Vermithor. It reminded me of Jurassic Park, not Jurassic World.
Yeah, Jeff Goldblum. Sam Neill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Both of them do it.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, they both grab the little torch
Yep.
and they try to steer the T-Rex away from the kids.
Yep.
Here, look at me, and he throws the
Yes.
torch. That's how I felt with you.
Yep.
That was my sound clip that I wanted you to have. was
Okay. Well, I'm going to do
I
it right
got
now.
you.
If I could find it.
What do you think happens when you touch a dragon's snout?
Welcome to Jurassic Park.
What do you think happens?
do
Why
you
is
mean?
that an important part? So she
It's
touches
very
the
hard to
snout.
train your dragon.
It is, but like, what do you think happens? Do they bond? Do they just smell? Do
Yeah,
they?
I feel like it's when you rub a dog's chest.
No. Okay, so is that all that happens? Or do you then get like a special bond? So I don't have a bond with my dog from rubbing its chest.
No, but we're talking about the effect on the dragon.
Yeah. But I'm saying, like, is this like your one and only bond, or could you be riding with other people?
Oh.
They don't let the people run away. They make them stay.
Well, I don't think they make them. It was just that by the time that Vermithor decided, nah, party's over, they were just all dead.
The egg that Ulf steps into.
But they were smart. They took off right away.
They
They were
did.
like, yeah, you know
Yeah.
what? You guys figure that out.
A bunch of her soldiers got burnt up,
Yeah,
too.
right.
Ulf, when he's running away, he steps in an egg. Once again, I don't know if they even knew that egg was there. Was that Silverwing's egg?
Yes.
Because if so, I would think Silverwing would be a little upset that you just killed her baby.
That's
maybe
fair.
that's why she likes him, because he smells like baby dragon juice.
Well, that's actually, I thought about that a little bit. I thought it felt very much to me like The Walking Dead when Rick covered himself with all the zombie stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of what I felt
And
like
then
too.
Ulf just pulls a possum, lays down, pretends to be dead, and Silverwing smells him. All is well. All right. I think we covered it.
Yeah.
We get of course Vhagar flying up, deters from going after them because he sees the three dragons. He sees Syrax, he sees Vermithor, he sees Silverwing, and of course we know that we have Seasmoke hanging on out somewhere in everybody else's dragons. We did not touch upon Jace, but I think you were able to express Jace's things. The thing that is really at the crux of Jace is he knows, and he just acknowledged for the first time, that he too is a bastard. That
absolutely.
That he is not of true Targaryen heritage, that who his dad was supposed to be was not who his dad was supposed to, what actually was. And he's now saying, okay, great, but like all these other people, like this is the only thing that you said that like this is why our family is in charge. And
this
Rhaenyra,
is what separates us.
Yeah, Rhaenyra's crying, oh, honey, I don't want this. And he's like, yeah, well, that's great that you don't want it, but you say we have to because of the God's prophecy.
Yeah.
But what happens when you die, Mom?
Yeah, like
that's the problem.
I'm so proud of Jace for saying, what about me?
Yes.
What am I to be then? And she says, well, you're my heir. But if what separates him from everybody else is that he's a dragon rider, well, now you're letting everybody else just be a dragon rider for freaking funsies. Who's to say they won't be heir?
Yeah.
Who's to say that they won't come in and say, no, you're a bastard, Jace.
Yes.
I have every opportunity to become king just as much as you do.
He's saying you're looking at this just one generation, not the entire generation, not understanding how it's going to impact me with my dark hair.
Yeah.
And now that you've brought all these other dragon riders in here.
Right.
I completely agree, and I feel so badly for Jace.
I do. And one of my questions was going to be, Mary, how do you feel about Jace's reaction to all this? And I think he's
Valid.
100% correct in what he thinks. By the way, we have a number of people saying that he did not break an egg. That he broke the clutch of the eggs.
I don't even know what that means.
Well, the thing that holds the eggs.
Okay, so like the bag?
Yeah, the bag. Sure. And
oh, so like they're laid together in a clutch.
I guess so, or they're put together.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can
And then
see that.
Sarah here on YouTube says dragon eggs are super strong. He wouldn't have messed it up even if he did step
Good.
on it.
Phew. That makes me feel so much better.
All right. All right, you ready for some small counsel?
Yes, I am.
All right, let's do it.
His Grace has many cares. He entrusts some small matters to us that we might lighten the load.
We are the lords of small matters here.
You know, Mary, I gotta admit, I kind of missed Sir Criston Cole in this episode.
Oh, he'll be back.
He'll be back, I know. But I just kind of missed him.
I know.
I like seeing him. I like having that hate flow through me.
Well, I just had to keep in mind, where is he? He's on his way to Harrenhal.
Yes.
So it takes a long time to get there.
Sure. All right. If you want your comments read on the podcast, our guests and our members at jointhenerdclan.com get first priority when it comes to comments for the podcast and being read on the podcast. And Mary, that's where we will begin today. At jointhenerdclan.com, Melissa says, I give this episode 4.7 flames. I think it's setting up what I hope will be an epic final episode. Hashtag Team Black. If anybody else says Team Black in this episode, you guys are all freaking banana land.
No, you're
just
all
unkind.
banana
land.
You're unkind.
Oh my God. All right, my good. The meeting of Rhaenyra and Addam on the beach. I loved the interaction between the two and Addam bending the knee to her. Seeing the scale of the dragons on the beach was amazing, and having them face each other as if they were about to do battle was really cool. My bad. The awkwardness between Corlys and his sons. It's cringy and sad. Corlys is not a warm person, but how about some more kind words to your son, Addam, who you've pretty much never spoken to and had a life-altering event just happen to him. He's going to run into him at Dragonstone, so acknowledge that both him and Alan and move on. My great, the whole ending. Ulf's joyride on Silverwing was pretty funny, but Aemond's angry response, rushing to find Vhagar to chase him down, only to retreat after seeing Rhaenyra with the three dragons, was awesome. And the look on Rhaenyra's face, which was covered in dragon fire ash. Priceless. All right, why don't you read the next one?
All right. Our next one, of course, my thing just smoothed on down, is RR Studio. As the penultimate episode, The Red Sowing has enough plot twists and meshing of story arcs that it should allow for a satisfying season finale. Many good moments and hard to choose. The good Oscar Tully did not see that coming. Daemon was neatly maneuvered by a Ute who is holding all the cards and knows how to play them. It's amazing Oscar didn't walk off with his goat.
What is a Ute?
They bad. I really thought Alicent was going all Ophelia. I was very relieved she did not. Did she think the raven she spotted as she contemplated drowning meant news from her father?
Oh, we're thinking the same exact thing,
Look at
girlfriend.
you guys, the great, all the dragon dharma and porn. These are the
So
dragons.
much dragon porn.
Oh, my
Oh,
God.
it's great.
These are the giant dragons whose skulls we find in the basements of King's Landing in the future. Daenerys' three look like puppies in comparison. When Rhaenyra summons Vermithor, it gives Dragon Breath a whole new meaning. She has fully stepped into her power as a Targaryen, fearless, ruthless, and every bit a queen. We were waiting for Hugh to have his reason for being, and his own pent-up anger was the perfect match for Vermithor. Apparently, Silverwing had a reputation for being a kind dragon, evidenced by the fact that she picks the bartender Ulf trying to escape, who steps in a dragon egg and stumbles right onto her. Will either of these riders be able to fight? At least Aemond thinks so. Advantage Team Black and Dragonstone. Rhaenyra looked so much like Rhaenys, standing defiant with soot on her face. Yes, Vhagar, you best be turning around. She gives it 4.8 flames.
Actually, the scene with Rhaenyra and then Vermithor coming down behind her, the face, is pretty much a carbon copy of the season 1 poster for House of the Dragon. But it featured, of course, a dragon and younger Rhaenyra, that poster. So this is kind of a reenactment of that, but with older Rhaenyra. Really liked that a lot.
Gloria sends in at jointhenerdclan.com, right?
Yes.
She said, I'm giving this episode 4.8 flames. Wicked hot. No pun intended. I also have been Team Black and always will be. Her good Oscar Tully baby. That kid has some big kahunas. Good for him standing up to Daemon. My bad Rhaena, who's done nothing wrong all her life, but now she abandons her brother, cousins, and tries to find Sheep Stealer. I know she's been depressed never having a dragon of her own, but she could have at least told Joff and the caretakers before bolting off. Her great, the whole ending. Ulf and Silverwing flying over King's Landing, Aemond chasing them back to Dragonstone, realizing he has 3 dragons and riders staring back at him. So many great in this penultimate episode. Ulf claiming Silverwing, kind of by accident, but did you have to step on the clutch of Eggsman? Come on! At least he didn't hurt any of them. Hugh Hammer pulling a Jon Snow and yelling at the Mitre Vermithor. Glad to hear Darren and Tessarion are on their way to King's Landing. So Darren, once again, is the younger brother who is kind.
Yes.
And Tessarion is his dragon.
Tessarion. Yes.
There we go. That's the dragon who can now fly. I just hope he gets there before the end of the finale. Can't wait to finally see this kid, the nice son with a heart. I'd like to know if you, Mary and Blake, have any favorite dragons. My 2 favorites are the late Malus and Silverwing.
Well, I'm going to say Vhagar because Vhagar's freaking awesome.
Good for you.
Just awesome.
Vhagar does not listen.
I don't care.
Vhagar's naughty.
He's great. He listened to Aemond in this one. He saw that. He did not want the smoke. He did not want the smoke from those 3 dragons, and I don't blame him.
It took convincing. He had to say it a couple of times to
Yeah,
Vhagar.
but he still listened. And I think he had thoughts. I think he had thoughts, and those thoughts, it changed his mind.
I do not have a favorite dragon right now. I'm not a big fan of these dragons.
Caitlin Marie on Facebook says, happy to be in Banana Land,
Good.
LOL. And then Lorena says, Team Black forever. You guy, you lady, whatever. I don't know. Just, that is nuts. Nuts for anybody to be Team Black right now. All right, I got some voicemails. You ready?
Yes.
You people, Team Black people. Crazy.
Hi, Mary and Blake. This is Lala from Pennsylvania, calling
Lala.
about season 2, episode 7 of House of the Dragon. I think this was a good episode. It was a good episode. It just wasn't a good penultimate episode, in my opinion.
Okay.
4.5 out of 5 flames for me. I don't know. Maybe my expectations were too high for this one. I'm not sure. But last season's penultimate episode was really good. And we've had so many great penultimate episodes in Game of Thrones that, I don't know. I guess that's what led to my expectations being high.
Sure.
But my good for this episode would be the music that was playing once Massaria handed Alan the missive of the word that needed to be spread around King's Landing. The music that played during that sequence was really good to me.
Yep.
My bad was Jace being such a crybaby about Rhaenyra deciding to, place Commonborns on Dragonbag. Jace, I absolutely love him. I do. But at the end of the day, you're still a bastard. You have no right to say that they're not worthy of it. when he was a child, they were saying the same thing about him.
Sure.
And my great would be the queen herself finally getting the dragon army that she needed. I cannot wait for next episode. Hopefully it was worth the wait. Take care, guys.
Yeah, Lala, you brought up the score from Ramin Djawadi, and I got to give you credit on that one. If you noticed, the two similar themes that played toward the beginning of the episode and at the end was the song "The Power of Prophecy," and it's that vocal kind of theme that plays. And when things are not going well for Team Black in the beginning, especially, you know when it was during the dragon scene at the beginning when Rhaenyra is talking to everybody. It's like that Power of Prophecy song was kind of like off kilter, like you could tell what it was, but it sounded just a little off, like they were missing a beat, or it just didn't sound harmonious. But when Ulf and when Hugh finally show themselves as dragon riders, the Power of Prophecy as we know it plays correctly.
Okay.
Really cool stuff.
Hi, Mary and Blake. This is Ines from Colorado, longtime
Ines.
listener, first-time caller.
Ooh.
My husband was actually born and raised in Arlington, so that's my Boston connection.
Yay.
So hold on. We got to do a couple of things here first, because she's a new caller. Thank you so much, and also
Your cousin from Boston.
thank you, Ines.
I give this episode a 4.85, almost 4.9 flames. There was so much to unpack. It was super difficult to choose just one for the GBGs. My good, the scene on the beach with Rhaenyra and Addam of Hull, the way it was shot, the dragons, his bending the knee, it was just a really, really good scene. My bad, all the poor dragonseed small folk dying en masse, even though it was expected, it was kind of ew. And my great, I have two greats. When Aemond is flying to Dragonstone on Vhagar and sees there be dragons, there are 3 of them, and they all have riders, you can see the fear in his eyes.
Yeah.
And I think this is the first time this season that he's actually afraid and is questioning what to do next. And the other great has to be teenage Lord Tully, showing Daemon what's what. That kid has a backbone, Lord Paramount of the Riverlands. It was brilliant to see how he outmaneuvered Daemon, and there was the best line in the whole episode when Sir Simon Strong goes, "Oh dear." I'm Team Black, and thank you so much for all the content you provide, and I have to let you know my favorite part is Mary's dad. Take care, guys. Thanks.
Hey, get in line, Ines.
We love
Everybody
my dad.
loves Mary's dad because he's amazing.
We love my dad.
But thank you very much. I appreciate that. All right. This one comes from Maureen over at jointhenerclan.com. She says, how can you not be Team Black after watching this episode? Yes, as Blake has said many times on the podcast, the show wants its viewers to be Team Black, but come on. You just can't help it when you see all those wonderful dragons. And again, Maureen, I'm just going to say this. Change out the word dragon with nuclear weapon. It changes it. It changes. Yes, it does. So this episode is a 4.7 for me. Very good. And it's setting us up for a really interesting finale. My good. All the dragons. This is what sets the show apart from Game of Thrones, and it really nails everything that has to do with the nuclear weapons. Oh, I'm sorry, dragons. I feel like it was a bit of touch and go for a minute there for Hugh, but I'm glad he bonded with Vermithor. Ulf getting Silverwing, not entirely convinced he won't mess that up for betray Rhaenyra for the Greens, but we will see. My bad. Whiny men. Jace whining to his mom that he doesn't like the idea of raising an army of bastards. Him complaining about Massaria. His insecurities about his lineage are legitimate, but come on, man. Stop doubting your mother at every turn and questioning her decisions. Have some faith. No, Marine. You always need checks and balances. There always has to be a dissenting voice. If you don't have a dissenting voice, that, my friend, is tyranny. That's a problem. You need someone to be like, hey, you know what? Let's think of this another way. I'm just saying. It's why you can't be Team Black. You can't do it.
You can. I am.
My great Lord Oscar Tully, protector of Riverlands, king of standing up to Daemon, official representative of Gen Z versus the millennial divide.
Yes.
That kid, the GOAT. Yes to everything about him. Yes to his nerves, to his smarts, to the way he put Daemon in his place. I bend the knee to Lord Oscar. You know what? Make him the king. I guess I'm Team Tully now.
Ooh, look at that, Marine.
Just like Mary, wearing some good old blue. All right, Mary, why don't you read this one from Caitlin?
Caitlin writes in, wow, what an episode. I'm all in Team Black, going for the win. 5 flames, give me the dragons. Loved it. My good Oscar Tully had one meeting with Daemon, and his next meeting knew how to play him like a fiddle. That kid knows how to play the Game of Thrones and plays it well. I have a tie for my good, the scene where Daemon is talking to his brother, and he asks him if he still wants the crown, and they zoom in, and it's the Stark house that it's showing.
Oh, interesting.
A quick nod to eventually ends up on the Iron Throne. Still upset it wasn't Jon, but I digress. My bad is all the people burning. Like, have them go one at a time. Jeez. They overwhelmed that poor dragon. My great, the end scene with Queen Rhaenyra coming up the hill with the 3 dragons. So good. Here we go, getting ready for the final countdown.
Yes. All right, we got some more voicemails. Here we go.
Hey, it's Michael from Newcastle,
Hi,
Oklahoma.
Michael.
Calling in about episode 7, House of the Dragon. 5 flames, great episode. My girl is back. Rhaenyra came through again, large and in charge, after kind of having a letdown last week and really backsliding in my view. That ending shot with her and the dragons and Aemond kind of realizing that he was in for a bigger fight than he had signed up for was awesome. Okay, but now to the issue that I just can't ignore. Credit Rhaenyra for having the visionary leadership and being willing to go outside the box, but good Lord lady, can we please get an HR manager?
Yes.
Team Black's onboarding and
Yes.
training process is a nightmare. We're really just going to throw these people to the dragons and see who lives?
Michael,
I
yes.
mean, you had a whole crew of people there that could have done any kind of job that you needed. I mean, can we get a Myers-Briggs profile, a DISC profile?
Hold on. Wait. Hold on.
Makes me want to shout.
Myers-Briggs.
Seriously, do these people pass some tests to even get through? Are these
That's
the
why
type of
you
people-
can't be Team Black. You can't.
You can. Nobody's
Michael
perfect.
knows this. Michael
Michael's
gets
Team
it.
Black. He's just saying.
I don't know if he's Team Black. I don't know
he
yet.
needs HR, just like how
We need a good
Hogwarts
HR
needs a
program.
therapist.
An Enneagram, do a freaking horoscope. I don't
Yes.
care.
Horoscope.
Good Lord. What a ridiculous waste of human life. Yeah, that's just good on her for getting the job done. But man, did she waste a lot of human capital in the process.
Yeah.
So that's my take.
Thank you, Michael.
You know, one of the things I'm wondering about too is like, how is this ripple effect going to go forward in King's Landing? Like, is it just Ulf and Hugh who survive? Did everyone else get eaten and burned? Or were there any stragglers like the lady that Hugh
Yeah, she
like,
lived.
theft? Yeah, but I'm saying, do they make it back to King's Landing to be
Oh.
like, oh yeah, everyone died?
Yeah.
Queen Rhaenyra just stood up there and watched all of us burn. She didn't call up her dragon. She didn't do anything.
No, she just watched it all
She
happen.
just watched it happen and then happily smiled with tears in her eyes when one guy got it and 49 burned. So that's going to be interesting, is if that ripple effect happens, or can they even leave Dragonstone? Probably
not. I don't think they're leaving.
No.
I after what happened, Rhaenyra can't let anybody survive.
I would hope that they can stay, do laundry,
Sure,
hang out. I mean, there's
sure.
food here.
They
There's
ne-
not food in King's Landing.
They need some more dragon keepers now. I mean, yeah, you're scarred for life,
Sure.
and the amount of trauma you have will just be paralyzing for the rest of for eternity. But yeah, you can do some dragon keeping. How's that sound?
Jennifer Darcy writes in, I enjoyed this episode very much, and I'm feeling a bit daffy, so what the heck? 5 frackin' flames for this
right.
one. What can I say? I just found a lot to love here. So instead of a GBG, I have a GMG.
Okay.
Good, mediocre, great. And fun thing, Jennifer, you can always do the GGB.
No, that's for 5+.
Okay.
That's for 5+.
So it's a good, mediocre, great.
Okay, fair enough.
I like this. Her good. Let's hear it for Emma Darcy. Their remarkable, nuanced portrayal of Rhaenyra continues to blow my friggin' doors off.
Yeah.
Some of you might disagree, but I find Rhaenyra to be a wildly compelling and complex character. And she has fully earned her role as House of the Dragon's main protagonist, along with Alicent, of course. For me, there's no Team Green or Team Black, only Team Rhaenyra.
Oh, I love it.
Love it.
If I had to pick one, though, I'm picking Alicent. I love Alicent.
My mediocre is the title of this episode. Now, Red Sowing would be fine title if it didn't harken back to the certain other title within the Game of Thrones universe that begins with the red and ends in ing. As such, this title seems to invite an unearned comparison to the Red Wedding, and in this regard, it inevitably falls short. I mean, don't get me wrong, the Dragon Pit massacre scene is truly harrowing, but it cannot hope to compete with the surprise gut punch delivered in the final scenes of the Red Wedding. My point is, they should have called this episode something else. Because, friends, this is no Red Wedding, as evidenced by the relative lack of emotional stakes and complete absence of suspense.
Thank you.
After all, the show has loudly telegraphed that Ulf and Hugh will become dragon riders. The rest of the doomed rabble might as well be wearing red shirts. Come to think of it, the red shirts would have been a much more fitting title for this episode.
Completely, 100% agree.
I would have liked it if it was spelt this way, the Red Sowing, but also if Alicent got stitches.
Oh, interesting. I would have liked that.
Yeah.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah. Stitch that baby up.
Yep. Okay, I'm in.
And her great, the saucy young Oscar Tully, absolutely owning Daemon Targaryen in a stone-cold, masterful battle of wits. Plus, ever since I learned that George R.R. Martin did, in fact, knowingly and unapologetically name the Tully characters after Muppets, I've been a much happier person in general. That's right, fellow nerds. Apparently, Fire and Blood features not only Grover and Oscar, but also Elmo and Kermit Tully. Say what you will about good old George. He certainly knows how to have fun with his fantasy bloodbath saga. Bravo, my good man. And bravo to you, Mary and Blake. You guys are the absolute best. Thanks so much.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. All right, you got one last voicemail, Mary, and then that will be the end of the small council.
All right.
Hi, Mary and Blake. This is Ashley from Massachusetts.
Hey,
Ashley. I'm calling about episode 7. I can't believe there's only one episode left. I thought it was really good. I would do 4.8 flames. My good was when Aegon was actually starting to walk. I'm kind of really excited to see what he does after he gets a little better. I don't know if we'll see it in this season, though. My bad was, I just forgot it. Shoot. I'll come back to that.
All right.
My great was, I forget his name, but the River Run boy challenging Daemon.
Yep.
And just his acting was so good. Like, the look in his eye. I was afraid that he was gonna, like, just kill somebody randomly, but I really liked that whole scene. And then my bad, I remember now, was when, I forget her name. She was watching the kid.
Ashley.
Rhaena.
Do you think? No. You think you might need some help?
No, stop it.
all the forgetting.
I forget all their names.
I'm just saying there's
Ashley,
a lot of forgetting.
Just ignore Blake. I know who you're talking about. Everyone knows who you're talking about. These names are confusing.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that you should. But
She's
maybe
nervous. She's calling in.
Maybe.
Blake, stop being a jerk.
Maybe a neurologist might be
Oh my God.
in order.
Stop. He doesn't actually mean that.
Sorry. Continue, Ashley. She's from Massachusetts. She gets the humor. She gets it.
Leaving. They were going to Pentos, and she just kind of snuck off with nobody seeing her.
Yes.
That was kind of cheesy. But yeah, my time's about to be up. Thank you.
Thank you so much,
Thank you, Ashley.
Ignore my husband. He sucks.
I
I forget everyone's name in real life. In real life. Please call back again, Ashley. Do not let this man
I know a few good
For sure,
neurologists,
Cinder.
Ashley. You just give us a call.
Do you know? I'm going to stop you right now because what you're doing is mean. I'm going to tell you. We got 2 new podcast reviews. Did you see them?
No, I didn't see them.
One of them, top tier podcast. Every episode I finish, I immediately think of what did Mary and Blake think about this episode? Did they pick up things I did? What did they see that I missed? And more importantly, what did Mary's dad think? I cannot wait for their episode of House of the Dragon. I find them through Outlander. I can't watch my shows without them. I recently cut all my Patreon assist subscriptions except Mary and Blake. They're
All
worth
right.
it. Try it out. Mama Tidbits, thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you, Mama Tidbits. However, Blake,
Yeah.
the other review that we got.
Okay. What did they say about me?
SYSK African enthusiast fan.
Okay.
Hard to listen to.
Fair enough.
One of the hosts is incredibly critical of and condescending to the other. It is incredibly hard to listen to.
Okay. Oh, all right. Well, so time out.
Me? Is it me?
It ain't necessarily me.
Am I the problem? Is it me?
It might be. I don't know.
Oh my God, friends, wait.
Don't go. See, don't you go blaming me.
No, I'm just
Maybe
saying.
you are critical.
Maybe it's me. SYSK African enthusiast fan. If you're still listening, we need to know who's the critical one.
I'd love to know who the critical one is.
I'd love to know too, but I'm just saying you're being very critical of Ashley.
Ashley is from Massachusetts. She gets the joke.
You
It's
don't
just-
know what
it's just
part of
fun.
Massachusetts she's from. She might be from the West, and that's more country folk.
That's where all the dragons are, I'll tell you that.
Yes. Leave them alone. Leave Ashley alone.
All right, you ready to call? You ready to close this one out?
Sure.
So we did get to another hour 45, unfortunately, but despite our greatest efforts. However, Mary, I was going to play the How to Train Your Dragon theme for the final, but as you know, we have a tradition here at Mary and Blake Media. For every penultimate episode, we have a song, and it's this. That's right, it's the final countdown from Europe. Sweden's finest. Another big question we always ask Mary for every penultimate episode is there any momentum going into the finale? Do you feel like this was a good penultimate episode?
I do.
I do too. I think they did a good job. And House of the Dragon continues to set itself apart from Game of Thrones because Game of Thrones would always make the penultimate have the best action, and it would be the best episode generally. House of the Dragon, once again, is proving that it's going to be the finale that has the best episodes. So we'll see. We'll go from there. So that is that, man.
Great.
Close this bad boy out.
Okay.
You going to close it out, or you're just going to keep looking at your iPad?
Are you doing your thing?
What thing?
Your hot take.
Oh, I forgot about my hot take.
Yeah, I'm the one looking at it.
Oh, sorry. Hold on. Let's let it ride.
That's why I'm looking at the iPad. There's still script left.
All right, fair enough. Well, when I said it's closing out, whatevs, doesn't matter. Here we go. Here's my hot take. The next episode is going to feature Daemon and his dragon. He will be coming. In fact, there's going to be a battle at Harrenhal, and Daemon will show up and turn the tide, and the Greens will take over Harrenhal. And here's another hot take wrapped up in a hot take. The season will end with Daemon and Aemond facing off.
Okay.
Right before they fight.
Okay.
That's my hot take.
I hope Darren jumps off his dragon. Now that I know he's coming out, I've changed who I want Daemon to be. I want him to be like Zac Efron from the original High School Musical.
Yeah.
I want him just to shake his hair, his long hair coming off his dragon. Here I am, ladies.
Bet on it, bet on it.
Bet on it. Yeah, that's what I want. I want dance moves. I want
Get
it
your
all.
head in the game.
Yes.
That's what he's going to say. He's going to go up to Kristen Cole and be like, get your head in the game.
Get your head in the game. Oh, okay. Well, there you go, my friends. That is the end of the episode.
Yes.
My name is Mary.
My name is Blake.
And SYSK, African enthusiast fan. We want to know, who's the more critical one?
Who's the critical one? Just say it's me, because I know if you say it's Mary, it's going to upset her.
Cry. But then I'll look back at myself and I'll see what I need to do differently.
How you self-evaluate.
I will do a lot of that, actually, if it is me.
If it's you, it's you.
If it's me, I need to know.
Fair. You should know.
That this stranger thinks that I'm overly critical of my husband, who we're both sarcastic with each other a lot.
We just bust balls here.
Oh, no.
We're just breaking balls.
That's why it's gay. It's giving me a complex.
It's like
All
it's
right.
like Goodfellas. We're just breaking balls here.
All right.
A little disrespect.
On that note.
A little bit.
Chuck Harris.